Hello and thank you for joining me. I'm Heather Forgan of stampwithnellie.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in the UK. And one of the things I love about being a demonstrator is that when people buy Stampin' Up products from me, I get to send them a lovely little gift. I normally send them a handmade card and a little handmade gift as well, and if they use my host code then they also get an extra little present of some Stampin' Up product. So I picked up these little packs of cookies and these flavoured coffee sachets and thought that I could do something with these for my customer gifts for this month. And obviously cookies and coffee go together and are featured in the fabulous Nothing's Better Than stamp. So I'm using this. I'm putting my cookies and coffee in some of these gusseted cello bags, and I'm putting a topper on them to post out to my customers along with their other bits and bobs. So I'm really just going to show you very quickly how I put these together, and thought I would just do that whilst I was actually making them for my customers. So I've done the prototype, I just need to crack on and get some more done. I have used the designer series paper from Artistry Blooms, and this pack of paper is 12 by 12, and there are loads of lovely bright colours in here, fabulous designs, and the sheet that I'm using is kind of an ombre look. So I've already gone ahead and cut 3 of the larger labels for my topper, and I've used the Celebration Labels dies for these. This is a fabulous set that I've used quite a lot already. I didn't use the biggest one. The biggest one probably would have fit slightly better along the top of the bag. There's a little bit of the bag still showing on this one. However, if I'd used the bigger one, I wouldn't have been able to get 6 out of a sheet of 12 by 12. And I'm a bit mean. I like to make the absolute most I possibly can out of our fabulous supplies. So I just took it down to the second largest one, and then I can get 3 out of half a sheet, and then another 3 out of the other half sheet of 12 by 12. And then I've used the next smaller one to cut some Whisper White card. Okay, so that gives me 2 parts to my topper. I'm going to do the stamping first, and then I can just simply assemble that. So as I say, I'm using Nothing's Better Than stamp set, and because I'm doing quite a few, I could have used the Stamparatus, but it's quite tight to get these in together, and I will show you that where I've got my "and" from in a second. So I've actually just mounted the 2 larger stamps onto one block together, and then I can continue to use that on all of my toppers. So I'm using Melon Mambo, and I'm also using Mango Melody. And what I'm going to do is, I don't need to do it at this stage, but I will show you that I'm going to mask along the middle line there. So you see that there are 2 little notches either side. So I'm going to put a sticky note in between them so that I don't stamp on that, but I just wanted the back to be plain on there and just have all the detail on the front. Okay, so let me just stamp that in. So coffee, cookies. There we are. And that would be ready. If I was, well, when I'm doing an assembly line, I would do all my die cutting and then I'd do my stamping like that, and then I'd move on to the next stamp and so on and so forth. So I want to put an and in there. There isn't a stamp that has just and on its own. Oh, I've got the wrong one out. There's two that have got and I've got the bigger one on my block, but actually the smaller one's better. I'll put that back in a moment. So this one says, and be awesome. There are two ways of doing this. I could either mask that up. In fact, there's probably three ways of doing it. So I could mask the rest of the stamp, then ink it and take the tape off. Or what I'm going to do is just simply use the edge of the stamp pad to only apply ink to where I want it on that stamp. Okay. The other way of doing it, if you have our Stampin' Right markers, then you can just add ink to the part of the stamp that you want. And because you're just adding a very thin layer, you give it a quick huff and stamp and you'll get just that bit as well. I just find that way is much quicker for when I'm doing repetitive, but you have to be careful that you don't get any onto the bit that you don't want. So you've got a few options there to use just the word and I don't know why I closed that, because I might as well just use that, because the next bit I wanted to stamp was the stamp that says because adulting is hard. I've taken the wrong stamp off. And I'm just going to put that down near the bottom there. Okay. I also want to stamp on the cookie, and this is where the masking comes in, because I just want it to be up in that top corner there without going over to the other side. And lastly, got my little coffee cup to pop that in there. And again, part of that's off and that's absolutely fine. You can tell that is coffee and cookies. So the stamping's done, nice and easy. And as I say, you can quite easily just do quite a lot of those. These would be nice little gifts for all sorts of occasions. And then I just want to layer up that, and I'm trying to make sure that I've got those little notches aligned. And I've put an extra bit of glue along the middle there because we are going to fold this. So I'll make sure that I've got a reasonably equal gap, got those two notches lined up, those two notches lined up, and the rest will take care of itself. Now I could use my trimmer for this, but I've got my take a pick tool with the ball tool at the end just sitting here anyway. So, and my ruler, so I'm just going to score along there using that. Whatever works best for you. Then I can bring in my bone folder. Again, just lining those up. Make sure they're squared away. Just a gentle crease on there. So let me clear some of this mess out the road. Okay, so I've got creamy caramel coffee. So I will pop in some, those are butter cookies, I'm sure there's caramel ones, traditional caramel cookies. So I'll pop those in, a nice combination. And then pop that on the top there. And as you'll see, I've used ribbon to do my closure on that. I've got a very sturdy hole punch. And I want to stamp right the way through. So I'm I'm punching both the card stock and the cellophane bag. Okay. Now I'm going to put a little clip on there, just to keep that in place. It'd be difficult to see where I'd cut the holes on the cello bag. And now I've got some Whisper White crinkle cut ribbon. And I want to thread that through. So I'm going to start at this side, and let me just think about this. How did I do this again? I should just record things as I make them instead of having to try and figure it out again later on. So what I'll do is I'll put that through there, round to the back of this label. And through the front. Clearly my clip didn't work. We'll manage. Okay, and then I want to put that through the cello bag. I was trying to make sure that I had it the right way round there, so that you can see the flavour of the coffee. Okay, and then through that label. So my ribbon is going to run along the back of the label on the outside, and then I can put it through the label, through the holes in the bag, maybe. I just got a little bit frayed there. Scissors. Okay. So I've got that ribbon that's going to show along the back, and then I can just cut off that like that and tie that in a bow. This will probably take the longest part off this whole production. We'll be threading that ribbon and tying the bows. But there we go. Nice little gift. Just chop that excess off like that. And I can now just get on and make the rest of them. I hope you've enjoyed seeing this quick project, and we'll give it a go. And if you have enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up or a comment or both. And if you're new to my channel, then I'd love for you to click on the subscribe button, and even better if you could click on the bell to get notified the next time I produce a video. Thank you so much for watching. There'll be a link to my blog in the description bar below, and also a link to the products that I've used that you can buy in my Stampin' Up shop. Take care. Bye bye.